Grover Norquist was at an ALEC-sponsored event doing a talk on criminal justice reform, and he said this, quote, "I'm all in favor of chopping the heads off of people who commit murder and putting people in prison for a long, long time. There's no bleeding heart whatsoever. This is about punishing real criminals and making sure we don't just toss everybody in the net, the porpoises, the tuna, and treating them all the same." Yes, in this was in 2013. I know now it's 2014. But in 2013, Grover Norquist arguing to bring back the guillotine. Damn, man. So here's my takeaway from this. You're no longer allowed to get angry if you're a far-right Republican when liberals call you primitive, because that is by definition primitive. Let's regress to the 18th century version of punishing people. What else would you like to bring back from the 18th century? You want to bring back cutting off a goat's head and sprinkling its blood while doing a dance around a fire to try to cure cancer and heart disease? That what you want to do? I mean, you want to get rid of electricity? Go back to that's when the guillotine was at its peak. Everybody was shitting in outhouses. Bring back the outhouses? Look, here's the thing, man. When it comes to the death penalty, I'm actually of two minds on it. So let me explain what I mean by that. From a philosophical perspective, I'm for it. And from a theoretical perspective, I'm for it. Which means that I think in a world where you have access to perfect information, so we know without a shadow of a doubt, hey, this person did X. In that case, I'm all for the death penalty. And, you know, I would look at somebody like Anders Breivik, who killed all these innocent kids in Norway. I would give that guy the death penalty. We covered stories on this show with some of the most gruesome crimes you could ever imagine. In fact, I want to give you a warning before I even talk about them because they're so grotesque. One person would kill kids, cut out their insides, their intestines, flush their intestines down the toilet, eat parts of the kid, and then repeat. Do that over and over. There's another person who can only reach orgasm and sexual arousal while stabbing little girls. So there's all types of gruesomeness around the world. So in a perfect world, those people, yes, I would give them the death penalty. Not in a perfect world. Obviously, in a perfect world, they wouldn't do that. In a world where we have access to perfect knowledge, yes, I would do that. But here's the problem. We don't have access to perfect knowledge, and oftentimes we get it wrong. In fact, hundreds, if not thousands of times, we've killed innocent people. So being that that's the case, you have to be logically consistent, which means that if we have the death penalty, okay, and the death penalty kills even one innocent person, then wouldn't the death penalty get the death penalty and be gone? And not only that, if you live in the United States at least, I don't think you can be for the death penalty in practice. And I say that because even if your personal feelings are for it, we have the 8th Amendment, which protects people from cruel and unusual punishment. And killing somebody by definition is cruel, of course. I mean, where's the debate? And also unusual by definition because a majority of the countries in the world don't do it. So it's unconstitutional. But here's the thing, man. So even if you're for the death penalty, you can be in favor of it in a humane way, in a way that makes sense, in a way that doesn't stoop you down to a barbaric, Neanderthalic kind of level. So, I mean, okay, the lethal injection, if you do it with the right substances, somebody could just drift off into a calm sleep, right? If you give somebody an overdose on morphine or whatever it is, the same way somebody would, die in a physician-assisted suicide. There's, ways to do it without becoming the demon yourself. But of course, that's Grover Norquist, that escapes him completely. And I should also mention that the nations that still use this form of execution, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and the Congo. So you want to be in a category, in a group with those people, Grover? By all means, be my guest, but that's not where I want to be.